Last week, my pet hamster Ronaldo died. It was the saddest day of my life, so far. So I decided to cope with the pain by watching Netflix. I came across this old documentary called Frankenstein. It's about a doctor who brings someone to life. I thought if he can do it, surely I can bring my hamster back to life. I tried injecting Ronaldo with Red Bull, throwing him in a bathtub full of Kool-Aid, and I even tried shedding a single tear onto his face in hopes that the magic of love would bring him back. But nothing worked. Ugh. Anyway, this whole ordeal got me thinking. When I bring my hamster back to life, I will have accomplished an amazing thing. I will have created life. But if life can be created by science, will that mean there's no more need to believe in God? Well, first, let's look at whether it's even possible to make life in the lab. In the late 1990s, scientists started trying to engineer a novel form of life. To do so, they took a bacterium, extracted its 1 million character genetic code, modified the DNA code, synthesized the modified code from more basic components, and implanted it into another bacterial shell. The culmination of this research in 2010 showed that the resulting bacterium began replicating. More recently, scientists developed a genetic blueprint for an artificial bacterium from scratch, while another group of researchers made a synthetic life form by reducing the complexity of a common bacteria. These efforts to modify the genetic code are astounding accomplishments, yet they fall far short of creating life from the ordinary laboratory chemicals. Scientists still need to replicate the cell wall, proteins, and RNA, membranes, and many other pieces. One biomedical engineer noted that although the research has expanded the parts list for cells, there is no instruction manual for putting them together to produce a living cell. It is like trying to assemble an operational jumbo jet from its parts list. Impossible. So, with all the scientific advances we have seen over the past 100 years, we still do not know how life can form from non-life, and most naturalists will acknowledge this. But I'll admit that theoretically it is possible that we will discover how to create life at some point in the future. So what if we do? Will there be no more need to believe that God is the giver of life? Well, I think there is one important thing to realize here. Just because it may be possible to deconstruct life and put it back together again does not mean that a creator is not necessary. It is kind of like my Lego's Captain Underpants figurine. Just because I can deconstruct him into various pieces, that doesn't mean that a creator isn't needed to put him back together again or to form the original pieces in the first place. In fact, the scientific experiments we already mentioned require a team of quantum chemists, protein engineers, biochemists, and molecular biologists. The calculations to figure out how to change the genetic code consumed hundreds of hours on a supercomputer. Not to mention, to date, they have spent over $40 million over a period of 15 years. And we haven't even gotten to first base yet. So, all that we can reliably conclude from these experiments is that creating a life in a lab requires intelligent life. In other words, a creator. I'll go one step further. What if my Captain Underpants Lego figurine did put itself back together, maybe over the course of 1 billion years by natural processes? What if the natural laws of the universe just happened to work in such a way that this was possible? Would that disprove God? What are the chances that the universe would just be the way that it is so that life has the ability to exist? Why do certain chemicals work with each other in such a way that they can merge together to create cells? Why are all the necessary chemicals needed for life present in the universe to begin with? The only way naturalists get around this inconvenient fact is by positing something like the multiverse, because the chances that life could exist in a naturalistic universe are basically zero unless there are an infinite number of universes. But this hypothesis seems to have no scientific evidence and is untestable. And personally, I don't want scientists messing around with other dimensions anyway. My GameStop stock is going to the moon any minute now, and I don't need any scientists opening up black holes before then. So in my opinion, the more scientists study the intricacies of life, the more fine-tuning and design they discover. Thanks for watching. Please agree and disagree in the comments below. If you have any topics you want us to explore in the future, please let us know. And check out reasons.org for more info on this topic and other topics like this. See you next time!